Howdy, howdy, folks. It is Diecast Buffet here again. Today we'll be talking about, well, one of the most common trending things right now. It is the NASCAR Winner Circle line that has been officially announced. This has been rumored for weeks, might have been a couple months already, but finally it is real and it is true, and a lot of people are hyped about this. So we're going to be talking about it. We'll be discussing the vehicles in this wave. There are some exclusives, so stay tuned to that. And I'll be giving my honest thoughts on that. So make sure to give the video a huge thumbs up. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so the NASCAR Authentics line has essentially created another Authentics line, and that being Winner Circle. Now, you've seen me review many Winner Circle diecasts. What was Winner Circle? If you're a new fan, you know, you didn't collect back in the 2000s. Basically, it was the NASCAR Authentics line for action racing collectibles. It was the retail line. So you go to a Target, you go to Toys R Us, and you would see a Winner Circle diecast. They were a better quality piece than maybe a Racing Champions, Team Caliber, etc. They were really good pieces, and it was the same diecast mold you would get in your action racing collectibles, which you would usually get online or at the racetrack. So it's kind of a very similar thing to how it was before, but apparently it's only raced versions, or raced win diecast, which to me, I'm cool with. I like that. I think it's a cool tie-in with the Winner Circle name, Winner Circle car, and you know, it's a creative marketing way. And to add a Larry McNugget to it, guys, Winner Circle actually did a raced win exclusive year in 2007. They made, I think it was like 32 of the 36 wins or something. So it is a massive throwback to the year 2007, and I'm all for it. So finally, let's go ahead and dive into so the first one we're talking about here is going to be the Zane Smith Loves Daytona raced win from 2022. I believe he won the 2023 paint race in this paint scheme as well. I know he won the race, but I think it's the same paint scheme. Regardless, raced win truck exclusive. I love to see it. We already got a Zane Smith truck in the previous normal NASCAR Authentics wave. However, it has the stupid roof decal that says champion. The next one we're talking about here is going to be Joey Logano's Gateway. No, not Darlington. It's actually going to be the Busch Clash. Joey Logano's Busch Clash raced win Ford Mustang. Now, in terms of diecast release schedules, this is considered ancient because this was ran February 2022. It's August 2023. We've already seen the Gold Series, right? Many people already reviewed it, so this is considered ancient in terms of diecast release schedules. Usually they're supposed to be in the hands of the collectors within a year. That's been a while, so I'm just going to keep it real. It has been a long time. If you haven't got the Gold Series edition, this might be a good pickup to you, because the difference between the Winner Circle ones and the Authentics is that they have a plastic base where the car sits on, which is really cool because Racing Champions did this for a number of years. And it has a little card back deal, the race win card, which I love those. Those are really cool. You can put them like in a photo album. It's really cool. Apparently, the base plastic has a couple notches, from what I understand, where you can slide the card in and be able to use it as a display stand, which is exactly what Racing Champions did back in the 90s and the early 2000s, which is awesome to me. The packaging, the most important about it is it's resealable. So it opens up and it closes, so you don't have to worry about destroying the diecast. The diecast are mounted with a screw. Apparently, it is a funky screwdriver you're going to need. I think it's like a triangle head or something. It's something they use on their alcohol-based cars. Obviously, these ain't alcohol sponsors, but essentially, you're going to have some type of screwdriver to get it off the plastic base. I would suggest for most of these paint schemes, since they're going to have probably a lot of confetti or damage or X, Y, and Z, you probably just keep them on the base themselves because they're raced wins. You really wouldn't want to use them in a stop motion, most of these. That's just my honest opinion. But the packaging itself is fantastic from what I see. I love clamshell packaging. You can open it. You could do a diecast review. You could put it right back into it. If you wear gloves and stuff, it literally will stay brand new. So I think that's a really good thing in that regard. But for this Joey Logano diecast release, extremely late release, and it tells me two things. One, they had this in the works for a long time, and two, their logistics suck. This is one of my favorite ones of this diecast wave. It's going to be Austin Hill's 2022 Daytona raced win car. for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This guy is fantastic at the play tracks. And it's really cool to get an exclusive Austin Hill diecast. I mean, how many times do they offer these Xfinity diecasts for RCR or any of these teams, and they never get made? That's why I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you really want these cars in your collection, 9 times out of 10, you got to make it yourself. That's just how it is. So it's good to see a raced version of this. I like that. It is another ancient release. It is Austin Cindric's 2022 Daytona 500 race to win car. Now, I do apologize for the image quality. You figure with something like this, and I'll be touching on this in a moment, the marketing disaster that this really has been, in my opinion, you really want to get some nice 4K images for these things, so that way it gets people hyped and they look better. I've already seen the Zane Smith truck already up close, so it looks pretty cool. But yeah, the Daytona 500 race to win. Most people already have this car. I would recommend getting it in the Gold Series because it has the the colored interior, the window banners, X, Y, and Z. But it's still really cool to have this Authentics version. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some people actually take their Gold Series editions of these cars and store them in the Authentics packaging. I think that would be kind of cool, a little extra detail. This is another extremely late diecast release. Kyle Larson, HendrickCars.com, Fontana race to win. Awesome stuff. Love to see Kyle Larson paint schemes. But again, this one was released way long ago. This one I could not recommend more than skipping out on. It is the Alex Bowman Las Vegas race to win diecast. They botched the paint code for this thing, so it's going to have that very ugly yellow pea looking color card. It's supposed to be literally a normal plain Jane white paint scheme. They botched the paint code. This would have been a great opportunity to give the fans a true exclusive by correcting it. Naturally, they didn't, because usually they don't care. So this paint scheme I would just avoid. You'd be better off just making your own one and putting it in the display case. That's just my honest opinion. Next one here is going to be Noah Gregson's Phoenix Race to Win Xfinity diecast. So they already have 4 of his Xfinity wins from last year. I think he won 9 or 8 of them in total. I don't think all of them are going to get made, unfortunately. But the Phoenix one is one of the most random race to win diecasts I could think of. This is exclusive once again. So there's 3 true exclusives: Zane Smith, Austin Hill, and Noah Gragson. And hey, go for it, you know? I mean, if you're a huge Noah Gragson fan, go for it. But I will say, all of his wins are in the same paint scheme. So that's going to bug a lot of collectors off, and that's probably why not all of them got made. If it was like Justin Allgaier, where he runs a lot of different cool sponsors, I could see all of his wins being made if they actually cared enough to get Xfinity diecast made. The final diecast of the first ever NASCAR Authentics Winner Circle Wave, that's a mouthful, it's going to be Chase Briscoe's Phoenix Win, another extremely late release. Yeah. I think the newest one, let me check my my chart here. I think the newest one out of all of these might just be the Noah Gragson and the Chase Briscoe Phoenix wins, because you have all 3 of the Daytona wins. You have the Kyle Larson Fontana win. They should have done the Cole Custer Fontana win. But yeah, it's pretty much the West Coast Swing 2022. And my biggest bugaboo about this is that this would have been a fantastic release to do during the next-gen hype. There was so much hype last year heading into June and July when the next-gens were getting close to being officially released to the public. And this would have been a perfect thing to combine it with. Instead, what they did is they went out there and botched the diecast waves with the PTC/JAT mold and the blurry decals. So my point is, it was a marketing disaster. Not only did the waves get leaked months ago, or not months, but weeks, I think it was about a month and a half, they didn't properly advertise it, in my opinion. They should have done a teaser video, something about it. They could have took one of these, a prototype sample, because you know they're gonna have a prototype sample, so they know what the biff they're releasing. They could have done a video on it on YouTube. They could have done it out of nowhere, and they did nothing. They could have just said July, whenever Winter Circle returns, or August or whatnot, and they could have said Winter Circle returns, and that would have been a huge bombshell in terms of the diecast hype. Instead, you have a few photos of it, next to no information. Half the people think it's fake, half the people think it's real. I personally thought it was fake myself at first, because it's so out of the bloom. And there's another aspect to that. You might be saying, okay, well, that's marketing genius. You get people to talk about it. That's a good point. But here's the problem: is people can't actually buy these things in their own stores right now. They're not even out. That's the problem. Like when you have a video game and you do a teaser trailer, you do an E3 back when they used to do that. Guess what? You could go to your GameStop and pre-order it. So you're able to cash in on that hype. But when you do this, you have all the hype, but people can't physically buy the product. That's why I think this was a marketing disaster. I would have done this well long ago. This should have been parlayed with the next-gen Gold Series diecast last year. This should have been out last summer, in my opinion, to go alongside the PTC/JAT and the blurry decals. So to me, this was way too late. You have to... Marketing is so difficult because people have very short attention spans. And the video game industry, they don't have a lot of hype nowadays because I don't know, they just don't build it up like they used to. You got to build it up. You got to build excitement, and then you have to be able to cash in on it. If they would have had maybe an online exclusive, limited release, pre-orders, it would have went crazy. And I think like it was a massive missed opportunity in my opinion. But these are exclusive to Target, so that brings you to the next question. When are these going to actually be available in your stores? A lot of the Target stores already have a peg on the shelf for it. These are going to be about $8, so they're going to be $3 more than your normal Authentics line. I've been on record many times to say that I think the Authentics line should be increased in price to increase the quality. Well, I'm going to stand by that. I think the Gold Series diecast being $10 nowadays, I think it's very respectable. The Authentics ones go up. We need quality back in the Authentics line, so I think that's a good thing. But in Target, there's significantly other retail stores than Targets in most areas. I know in my area, there's, like there could be one Target in 15 miles, maybe two Targets in 40 miles. So my point is, I don't really shop there, right? So to me, as a consumer, it doesn't really make sense for me to go spend 30 or 40 minutes out of my day to go to one store and hope and pray they actually have the diecast in stock. So I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to get any of these. I'm just going to keep it real. I know a lot of people are hyped about it. I don't Authentics hunt anymore. I don't care about the Authentics line nowhere near as much as I used to. They killed it off when they started doing the botched JAT crap, PTC mold. Once they did that, I lost all interest. And this is a repercussion of that because I was a huge, huge supporter of the Authentics line. They destroyed it. And this is probably not going to be exclusive to Target forever, right? Depending how the sales go. It's going to be really hot right now, but long term with the price increase, I feel like there could be a little bit of it could slow down, and they might be forced to sell it in different retail stores, which they did with the 2019 bonus wave. It was exclusive to Walmart early that year, and then they had so many of them produced, and they didn't sell enough of them. Guess what? They actually allocated them to Target and I think some other retail stores as well. Anyways, in conclusion, is this great for the diecast market? I think it is. I think this is really good. However, I'm still skeptical. Are we going to get blurry decals in this new Authentics wave? Does this officially mean this is the end of EL mold diecast, EL mold diecast being made in the $5 Authentics line? I think eventually, yes. I think eventually it's just going to be JAT diecast, which, again, I haven't bought any of them. I'm not going to buy any of them. I don't care about them. And that's a huge reason why I don't even care about the Authentics line anymore. Even the exclusives. I said it once, I'll say it again. They come out so freaking late. By the time they even put it online, it's like, well, the hype for that car is already gone. I'd rather just make it myself, put it in my collection, be done with it, and I get it whenever I want. That's what I like. I feel like this could have been marketed so much better. It could have been marketed so much better, in my honest opinion. Because all these cars are extremely late releases except for the 3 exclusives. So a lot of these cars are already in people's collections. It's hard to convince someone to go pay, $8, $9, whatever dollars, plus gas, plus your time to go to these different stores to get the same diecast you already have. I'm just keeping it real. The exclusives are going to sell, but how many people are going to go out of their way to go buy a Chase Briscoe Phoenix Race Twin? I mean, just keeping it real. That one's been in stock at Circle B for a long time for a reason. It's probably overproduced. So, and they've had sales on it for the metal chassis version. So my point is, you could get the metal chassis for that one a couple months ago for like $6. Think about that. Metal chassis, Gold Series for $6 compared to traveling, spending gas, spending your own time, and oh, by the way, still paying like $8.30 for the Authentics Winter Circle. But hey, man, if you're a huge Authentics collector still, this is right up your alley. But to me, I'm probably not going to get him. So I don't want to disappoint people. Probably not going to see them on the channel, so try not to expect that. But for me, you know, Authentics line is just not for me anymore. It's dead. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you love this, I respect your opinion absolutely. I don't know, man. I've just lost all interest in the Authentics line. Let's just keeping it real, man. Just keeping it real. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to give you a huge thumbs up. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to do these releases. Is it going to be like 4 waves a year? Is it going to be the same as the $5 Authentics line and we get 12 waves? I don't know. I do think the increased price is going to slow the sales a little bit, so they might have to do less each year so they don't fill the shelves up, because I'll end the video on this. The $5 line appears to be the youth demographic line. And this one appears to be to the teens and I'd say adult line because it's higher quality. The Winter Circle carries a lot of nostalgia. A lot of 20-year-old, 25, 30-year-old adults are going to want that diecast because it says Winter Circle on there. So I think that's the demographic shift. I think personally, a lot of the younger fans are going to want these, but I don't know if their parents are going to actually buy it for them because they'll be like, well, there's 2 different NASCAR diecasts. One's $8, one's $5. You get more with the $5 one. So I wouldn't be surprised these don't sell as well as people anticipate. But I hope they do. I hope they sell well. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too critical. Who knows? Thank you all so much for watching again. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecast Buffet.